Hello, BookTube. I wanted to make a quick reminder video here for Classics and Company, which is a BookTube channel and a concept that was started by Ann Novella and somebody named Micah Cummins to read in a group in a nice informal setting a freewheeling range of classics, both old and maybe not so old. A wonderful idea that is distinguished by a few things. One is the vigorous discussion that takes place on its dedicated Discord, and the other is its time frame. It is not a monthly read-along. It's 90 days, which allows more scope when you're dealing with a very, very long work. The Classics and Company over the years has indulged in a number of long works. I am very much a part of the infrastructure of Classics and Company, and I will be rereading and grappling with and issuing reports on our pick, which starts tomorrow. It starts in April. The next Classics and Company pick is Victor Hugo's 1862 mammoth novel, Les Misérables, which is well north of 500,000 words. It's a gigantic, gigantic thing. A story that will be familiar to all of you, not because of the book, but because of the Broadway stage show. Another example, I could give a million examples, from The Hunchback of Notre Dame to Anna Lewins' soupy novel about her life in the court of Siam, or the lying memoirs of the Von Trapp family. No matter what the literary source is, it's the Revenge of the Gays. It's the Revenge of the Gays. They take that boring, mildewy literary source and make it into something that's going to become a household name. And they've been doing it forever. They're very clever. This is another case of that. You will know the basic plot of Les Misérables, whether you've struggled your way through the book or not. It has a few plot lines, each more lachrymose and saccharine than the last. The standout one for me has always been the personal duel between Jean Valjean and the police inspector Javert. But there are a lot of other things going on in here, including culminating in a revolution and tons of other stuff. It's a very, very long book, and this is 2024's Classics and Company for Les Misérables. Is the first time that I'll be reading this book in an ebook. It's the first time I won't be juggling that gigantic hardcover and trying to read that. I don't think at the moment that I even have a print and paper copy of this book. I don't think I have the famous mass market paperback with the Broadway musical poster child, the little baby, the little poster child on the cover. And I don't think I have a hardcover of any kind. I used to have an Everyman. I used to have a big fat Penguin Classic Deluxe paperback. I don't think I have any of those anymore. So I will be doing this just in ebook, which will be so much more comfortable. It's at least the physical experience. I don't think there's anything that can be done for the reading experience. but I wanted to put you on notice for this in case you want to join us for Classics and Company, which has a dedicated Discord. I have poo-pooed both aspects of Classics and Company this time around. I poo-pooed Les Misérables for the whole of my critical life. I never put it any better than a critical colleague of mine once did when he wrote that Les Misérables must be a great novel because it sure as hell isn't a good one. I couldn't have put it any better myself, so I've never tried. I just quote that instead. And I've also poo-pooed Discord as just this weird, graphics-heavy, chaotic mess of a place that doesn't make any sense. And, you kids get out of my yard and all that sort of old man stuff. I thought, well, why don't we try it again? Why don't I find it again, sign in again, and see? I'd like to think that my comfort level and familiarity with all kinds of tech is growing steadily. I'd like to think that is. I'm not a tech guy, but I'd like to think that I'm steadily increasing my comfort with these things. So I thought, go to Discord and see if maybe it seems less chaotic to you. And there are ways to make it less chaotic. There are ways to focus on specific conversations, ways that I didn't see before, and now I do. So I will probably be turning up in the Discord discussion for Les Misérables. And I'd love it if you did too. So we're going to do this. Of course, I have a million questions. If you do show up in that Discord, I will have a million questions. Do you plan on reading the whole of this? And also, I have a million questions about how you're going to be reading it. Are you going to read it electronically, or are you going to read a book? a print and paper book. And if you are going to read a print and paper book, there have been so many editions of this thing, and I've seen them all. I want to know which one you're using. If you're reading it in a translation, I want to know what translation you're using, no matter what language it is. I believe in our Discord so far, we have, I think Elizabeth at Book Hunts of Books is reading this in French. I'm pretty sure that Annabella is going to read it in Dutch, in an unabridged Dutch translation. I don't know much about this person, Micah Cummins. He doesn't appear to have a BookTube channel or ever to have had a BookTube channel. And a probate search for records of such a person turns up nothing. Civil War soldier, but it can't be him. but there have been a number of translations of this, not all of which have retained the French title. I have one myself. I have an ebook of one myself. The title is something like The Forsaken or something like that. I'd love to know how you're reading this book. Do you intend to do the whole thing? And if so, in what format? I have been briefly tempted to make my Classics and Company reread of this not just my first time reading it as an ebook, but my first time in decades reading it in French, so that I'm not bothering with a translator at all. I don't know, though. I'm a big fan of English language translations. I'm always interested in what they're doing. Maybe I will either read a new translation. This is a new to me translation. It's an old translation, but I've never read it. Or I will find an ebook of the book in French and read that. But I will be reporting back. We're going to ascend to the peak of Mount Les Miserables starting tomorrow and going until mid-May. So you just put this on your e-reader and get to work on it. It's a lot of fun, and it's especially, I'm not saying the book's a lot of fun, but it's especially a lot of fun to take on a monster like this in good company. And you're in good company for Classics and Company. So to log on, find the Discord. If I can find a way to link the Discord server, I will, so that you're just one click away from all that fun. and I hope to see you all there for Classics and Company in April. So I'll wrap this up for now, and I will see you then. Thank you, BookTube.